What's up, guys? This is Mike, and thanks for checking out my YouTube channel, my baby infantile YouTube channel with barely anything on it. But you know what? I enjoy uploading art, and I know a few of you guys enjoy watching it, so we'll just keep on doing it. And today I thought I'd try something a little different and narrate one of these videos. This way, you can kind of hear the process from me rather than, reading text across the screen. So I am a official sketch card artist for Topps. I've been doing that for a few years now. I think I'm probably on my, I don't know, seventh or eighth Topps Garbage Pail Kids set. I've done a bunch of Star Wars stuff too and other licenses, but my focus tends to be on Garbage Pail Kids because what other license, or well, yeah, I guess what other license can you draw a bunch of blood, guts, and vomit? I mean, I'm a little immature at heart when it comes to my illustration, so this suits me so perfectly well. In this video, the client wanted me to do a Max Axe, the old executioner from one of the original series, and as he's lobbing people's heads off and just destroying the old GPK worlds, he's discarding their bodies all over the ground. And when he asked me to do that, I says, of course I'll do that. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want to do. More blood the merrier. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing here. Now you can see that I'm illustrating this digitally, and a lot of artists, especially older school traditional artists, will kind of give you a little bit of crap for it. They don't like to see traditional art done on an iPad or digitally on a tablet or whatever, and I think that is stupid. It's just an archaic way to look at things. This is just a different tool, and it's literally the same for me to illustrate on a piece of paper than on a screen with a pencil. It's just a different type of pencil, right? I'm not tracing anything. I'm not using things that is doing the artwork for me. But what I do get to do, it's twofold. One is I don't have to destroy the original substrate. Like suppose, you have a Topps card, an official Garbage Pail Kids card, and that thing's got some value to it. Now, when you're illustrating a bunch of characters like I'm doing in this video here, and you're erasing, and you draw something, you're like, I wish this was tilted this way better, and you're making just some quick decisions that don't work out so well, whatever it is. Now, if this is on a substrate and you're erasing it over and over, what do you think that eraser is doing to the tooth of that paper, right? It's destroying it, and if you destroy it enough, then your markers just don't lay well over it. So I guess you could argue, well, then don't screw up so much, but to me, art, it's an exploration, right? It's okay to make mistakes. To me, I think an artist is, or a good artist is the person that can make bad decisions but kind of turn them around, right? And figure out how to fix things. Anyway, so drawing digitally like this gives me the ability to do that. I can make 100,000 mistakes and you'll never know it. I mean, unless I upload a video to YouTube and you watch me make those mistakes, which, hey, I'm fine with that. I don't mind kind of letting it all hang out there. You can see my process. It's all good. We all make mistakes. Now, a lot of times I'll illustrate on the substrate, like for pack cards. I have no issue with just taking out a brush pen and just illustrating, because I'm kind of doing them quick. I don't have time to, or the desire to go onto an iPad, illustrate it, print it out, transfer it onto a card, and then re-ink it, then color it. It just doesn't seem doable when you have 100-something cards to do in a couple weeks. So all of those cards I'll just do on the fly with a pencil on the substrate because there's hardly any erasing. But when you get these big illustrations like this, that just so many, there's so many items on this page, and you're not copying from anything. You're just kind of illustrating, kind of what's in your mind, and it's just the tool of being able to go back and erase, or change things, or flip things, or resize things on the fly. I mean, those are tools that every artist should be using. It's kind of like saying, I'm going to build a house and I have a hammer and a bag of nails, and I'm going to go put this frame together with just the hammer and nails, and you're mad at the guy, around the other side of the house that used the nail gun, right? The nail gun's there to make your job a little easier. It's just a different tool. And that to me is what drawing digitally is. It's a great tool, man. And if you're not using it, I implore you as an artist to go out and give it a try. I think it'll open up your abilities. It really will, because it allows you to not fear, getting chewed up paper, or some of your lines won't come back off, some of the original sketch lines. You just don't have to deal with it. It's nice. And like I said, you take this transfer and you get it onto the card, and you're looking at it at 100% size on the actual substrate. You might see things that need to be changed, and I'll go in there and change them. Just erase a little bit, and as long as you're not chewing up the paper, then the paper stock can handle it pretty well. Like there, I just flipped link over. I drew them facing to the right, and I thought it just doesn't look right, so I'm going to get them facing to the left. And I can overlay this hand that I'm drawing on top of link's face, and go back under onto the link layer and erase some of the link lines. And I can do that on the fly. It's so easy to do that, right? Now, at one point, my wife walked in as I'm working on this, and she says, "Hey, Mike, it looks kind of like a crowd of people. They're kind of static in there. I think you should move some of those heads in different directions." It's a little bit later on during the video, and she's right. If I was to draw this on the actual substrate with a pencil, I'd have to erase it and start over. But it's easy for me here just to go grab that layer, select link, and just spin them to the side, to lay him so he's facing upwards, or whatever direction he ends up being in. And it takes 2 seconds, right? So there's Joe Blow. Instead of drawing him in that little space at the bottom there, I figured I'd take the character, slide him up top, draw him up top, so I get the full head, the full scale, full perspective, and then I can slide him back into that space in the corner, erase what I don't want to show, so it looks like it's sitting underneath that leg, and it's done. And I know I get the proportions, pretty well to the original character. So it's a thing of beauty, man. I love it. So yeah, there's some dead Ted going on there. I got him kind of sticking on a stick, like, what's that character? The pig. I forget the name of that character, but anyway, so I kind of want to use that idea in the background there, with, heads on sticks kind of fading off into the misty red background that it'll eventually have when I start coloring this thing. Got some Ned head being held up by Mac's axe. Now, I'm looking at Mac's axe's arm, his left arm holding Ned head, and I drew it quick, and I'm looking at it. I don't think I'm going to keep it like that on the original, on the official piece. I think I'll probably change that arm up, or maybe I'll go in here and retouch that arm, or redraw that arm just to make it look a little bit better. Even Bad Brad down there, to me, now that I'm looking at this, he looks a little maybe squished. Well, there's your link flip right there. But yeah, he looks a little squished. I might, pull that head out a little bit, and we'll redraw it just to make sure it's a little thicker. So there it is, man. There's the process. Next stage is I'll print this out when I'm happy. Throw some graphite on the back, transfer it to the official stock, and then get out my trusty zebra pens and ink it up. Once it's inked, I'll let it sit overnight, maybe a couple hours, because with the zebra pens you can ink in about 5 minutes later, start coloring over it, which is really nice. Just the best pens, about $2 each. Yeah, I'll ink it up and work on detail, and all in all, it should take me a couple days, and I think it'll turn out pretty well. Maybe I'll upload that video of the actual card. But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you around.